Iran told Arab diplomats from all across the Middle East that they don't care if the upcoming attack on Israel leads to an all-out war. Funny they say that now, thinking they are safe no matter what happens, but I doubt they will say the same thing once cruise missiles start raining down on the presidential palace and their military bases all across Iran. It's so sick when higher-ups send people to die for bullcrap reasons while saying bring it on. I am not afraid. Yeah, you're not afraid, while tons of innocent people on both sides are gonna die. Such bravery from total cowards. I wish the only people who die in wars were the assholes starting it. It should be the international rule. You try to start a war, the first one to die are the leaders of said country. But apparently under international United Nations laws, killing leaders is illegal, even mass murdering dictators starting wars. What a stupid world we live in. August 5, 2024, Israel night time. 2 suicide drones from Hezbollah just crossed the border into Israel. One was destroyed and the other one wounded 2 Israeli soldiers minutes ago in Ayelet Hazar. So in other Israel news. A state of high alert in all reserve units in the Israeli army throughout the country is in effect, especially on the northern front. Due to airlines expecting war at any moment, most if not all flights to Israel have been suspended or cancelled for the next few days if not weeks depending on the airline. That means that 150,000 Israelis are stranded overseas. It seems like a big number of people being stuck abroad. Maybe they should stay abroad while the storm passes, it could be safer. Or maybe they are part of the Israeli reserve forces and need to be there, or maybe they just want to be with their family in case it gets really bad. Anyway, that's a really bad situation for them to be in. Apparently, the Iranian regime isn't facing enough enemies, and they want to create more. They just warned about every Arab country in the Middle East, including Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates, that if they attempt to help Israel and its allies intercept their attack that they will target it as well. If it's not a bluff, it seems like the crazy nut jobs running Iran are trying to make sure everyone declares war on them. Not a very smart move from the crazy religious guys in turbans. But what else is new? There has been reports of violent explosions near the port city of Al-Fa in the Basra Governorate of southeastern Iraq on the border with Iran. An early report says that it was an old bomb that was buried that went off. Hopefully it's just an accident and not something bigger. But the timing is really suspect. Israeli intelligence expects several days of missiles from Hezbollah and Iran, possibly Hamas, the Houthis, Iranian militias in Iraq and maybe Syria. Their goal of course would be to deplete the missile shield interceptors, to make Israel defenseless. Let's remember, Hezbollah has around 150,000 missiles according to various intelligence agencies. You add up the hundreds of missiles that Iran can launch at Israel and the drones, there's a 100% chance Israel will run out of interceptors before the axis of terrorists runs out of missiles. Thing is, if that happens and Israeli civilians start dying, Israel and the US might go full-scale war on Lebanon and Iran, something apparently the Iranian leadership thinks is impossible. If they push enough, it's clearly a possibility. Back in April, when Iran launched around 100 missiles and 100 drones at Israel, they gave Israel and the US days of warning before they did it to make sure it wouldn't escalate. This time it's different. Iranian officials are saying they will carry out a direct strike without warning anyone. Of course, to do such a thing, Iran would need to carry out the strike either from very close, in Lebanon and Syria, or launch missiles from underground missile bases in Iran. Missiles launched from Iran take about 12 minutes to reach Israel. Missiles launched from Syria and Lebanon half a minute to 2 or 3 minutes at most. Thing is, the shortest warning time, the more likely there's gonna be casualties and the more likely Israel will be motivated to carry out preemptive or revenge strikes in Iran proper, leading to an escalation nobody can control. The Israeli security meeting that took place tonight that lasted 4 hours talked about expecting an attack from 5 front without elaborating. Of course it could even be 7 front if you do the count. The attack could be coming from Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza and the West Bank, Iranian militias or even the Assad regime in Syria, Iranian militias in Iraq, Iran proper and the Houthis in Yemen. If all attacked were coordinated, the Israeli defense system would be overwhelmed for sure. Coordinating such a large forces from such different organizations in several countries with different systems and different distances is probably too complicated for Iran and its puppets, but we shall see. One thing is true about every war. You can do all the plans you want and expect most things, but you will never actually predict every scenario. The nature of war makes it unpredictable. So Israel is doing its best to prepare for possibilities. One of those are infiltration attempts from Hezbollah to kidnap people or enter Israel proper to carry out attacks as Hamas did on October 7. Let's remember, Hezbollah back in 2006 kidnapped Israeli soldiers on the border, which started the whole war. This cannot happen again. According to Al-Ain News, the US Secretary of State threatened to strike any Iraqi faction, meaning Iranian militias in Iraq, that would threaten Washington interests in the region or support Iran in any move against Israel. If you look at history, I don't think these guys are gonna be deterred. All they want is to fight and kill, they don't care if they die. The US military should prepare to rain hell on them, 'cause they probably gonna have to do so. According to CNN, Israel is clearly expecting a massive attack and the missile shield to be overwhelmed, run out of ammo, or fail. They warned Jerusalem residents that they must prepare special shelters, and they must be able to reach them at all time in 90 seconds or less. Meanwhile, the Iranian propaganda is in full swing. A Telegram channel linked to the Iranian-backed militia, the Popular Mobilization Forces or PMF, in Iraq, has released this doctored image showing drones over an Israeli coastal city, probably Haifa, with a caption saying, "Leave your cities, Abadal's army is coming for revenge." Abadal is the name of the Iranian drones that will probably be used in the upcoming attack. It looks like Iran is gonna launch attacks from inside Syria since Iranian militias brought at least 6 trucks loaded with advanced missiles into Syria a few hours ago. Or maybe these missiles are gonna end up in Lebanon. I'm sure Israeli reconnaissance drones are following them closely. Hopefully Israel takes them out before they can be used. Iranian army sources tell iNews from the United Kingdom that Iran's response to Israel, a massive attack, will come no later than Tuesday or Wednesday, so no later than Monday or Tuesday night Eastern America time. Of course this could all be deception. If I were Iran, I would probably launch a small attack, then say it's over. Then in a few weeks or even months, when nobody is prepared, then you launch a massive attack. This is what Hamas did on October 7, and it worked. But then doing that, you guarantee a massive full-scale war, which is basically suicide for the Iranian regime. So yeah. As always, stay safe, and I will post more videos on what's going on as much as I can. Thank you.